Hi, my anime lovers. It's me, Anime J. How are you doing today? Good. That's good. So, I don't know if you can tell, but I've been gone for a month, and look at my hair growth. It's almost like these are extensions, by the way. Just so these are extensions, and I'm really feeling it. It's really giving cutesy, wootsy, whatever that means, ootsy. Today we're gonna be watching some scary animated stories. So, let's get started. Well, I don't know if you know, but that was supposed to be a transition. Okay, we're good. Okay, so today we're gonna be watching 3 terrifying True Lost at Night animated horror stories, and basically I am going to be like watching only 2 videos because it turns out the entire video is 17 minutes, and it is by MJV Animations. It was just made 23 hours ago, so you know, go watch them, even though they're more famous than me. So really, I don't know why I'm telling you to go watch them, because pretty sure I have barely people watching this. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, I love this fan. I have another one. It's white, but I lost it. Well, I didn't lose it. Okay, we're starting now. Go.
I was on a road trip heading back from a job interview I had across the states. I stayed for an extra couple days to make it a mini vacation, which was why I drove instead of taking a plane. Anyway, it was pouring outside, which would usually make for a relaxing drive, but it was the middle of the night, so it made visibility difficult. Most of the drive consisted of going through dense forest on long one-lane roads. The drive was supposed to be around 10 hours, and obviously with rain I expected a slight delay. It was just past 1 AM when I checked my phone and saw it was 62 miles until the next turn. For some reason though, Apple Maps was taking me on a different route from the way I'd taken before.
Is that a lot?
I didn't see it as a problem at all, and continued for a while, maybe 30 minutes before I glanced over at my phone again. It still said I was 62 miles away from the next turn. I looked closer and my car wasn't even moving on the map. I tried clicking on it and restarting the app, but it was frozen on that screen. To make things worse, all it said was, "Turn right in 62 miles, with no road or street name." Without that, I had no idea where I was going or when to turn, other than a tiny memory of a street name it had shown me before. It was one of those where if I saw the street sign, then I'd recognize and remember it, but I couldn't fully remember it on my own. Despite the inconvenience, I continued driving for a while in hopes that it was just an internet connection thing, and once I was out of the dense forest, it would fix itself. An hour or so of driving later, I was still in the forest and the rain was still pouring down, but I saw an intersection coming up. On the connecting street, there was a truck parked on the side, and I figured they were probably having the same problem I was having. I slowed and looked at the street sign, and to my surprise, I thought I actually recognized it. It could have just been some coincidence or a false memory due to my lack of sleep, but I ended up turning and taking my chances. At first, I was fairly confident in my choice, thinking I might have actually made the right call, but after an hour of driving, I was still in the forest. I knew for sure that I didn't spend even nearly this much time driving through the forest on the way there, so something was wrong. I checked my phone and still had no luck, but up ahead I saw a faint glow of a billboard sign. A motel, right there in the middle of this isolated forest. It seemed like an odd choice for a motel, but I pulled into the parking lot so I could safely figure out my situation. The whole lot was empty. Not a single car. A minute later though, that same truck I'd seen back at the intersection pulled in and parked a few spots down. I couldn't see much through the rain, so I just ignored them and continued with trying to get my phone to work. I want to say I probably sat there for 15 minutes before giving up. Just before deciding
No,
to
I'm
go into the
gonna leave.
motel
There's
to
no
either
way
ask
that
for
there's
help
people
or get a
there
room,
just so
a
happens
knock
to
at my
find
window
us all.
startled me.
Turn this way. And
Hey,
we go
can you help
this
me?
way,
He
and
yelled
follow
through the
you.
rain.
Don't tell me.
I rolled the window
that
down a
you would
crack,
go.
letting rain splash all over me as I asked what he wanted. He said he needed some directions and told me a very specific address, as if I were to know where it was.
Sorry,
Pause,
man.
like,
I'm
three,
just as lost as
pause
you are.
now.
He frowned,
I don't wanna
then
be
smiled and said to
but,
have a
like,
nice night, walking back through
If
the
you
rain
are
to his truck.
raggedy
After a minute,
man
I got
that
out
I've
and ran
never
into the
met in my
motel.
life, and, like, you're
The front room was dark and
falling
empty.
out and, like,
Nobody was at the desk.
don't look at my teeth.
I leaned over the counter to see if someone was in the
kinda
back,
don't wanna
but
talk
then
to
the
you
front door opened behind me.
Like, I don't want to talk to you like
I
face to
turned
face
and saw that man
unless,
from the
like, I'm
truck
close to you,
outside.
'cause I really just
He
don't
was
trust you,
soaked
you know what I mean?
with water
Oh,
dripping
God.
from his long hair
Go
and
now.
beard. The look on his face was cold and sinister, and he had one hand suspiciously shoved in his pocket. In that instant, I quickly tried walking past him. He stayed firmly in my way, but for whatever reason, he didn't stop me from squeezing past him and out the door.
Wait,
As I quickly walked to my car, I heard the man exit the building behind me and his footsteps catching up. I got in and turned on my car just as the man came up to my window, and through the rain, I heard the sound of
So
my
sorry,
door
so
latch
sorry.
click.
sorry, so sorry.
Thank God my car auto locks, because as soon as I heard
still be able
that
to
and
see
looked
it,
up
but,
at him,
my
he
camera,
stared
like,
at me with disturbingly rage-filled eyes and began forcefully trying to open the door. He was pulling so hard, the entire car was rocking back and forth.
so you should be
I
fine.
pulled out and drove off so fast I almost ran him over. I got back to the intersection and sped down the way I was going before. Thankfully, I made it to a city after 20 miles and was able to get help. It turned out the motel I was at had closed down a couple months back, and for some reason the sign still worked, which nobody could explain to me. I don't know what that man's intentions were, and whether or not he had planned that whole thing out. But one thing I am sure of is that I got very lucky with my escape from that motel.
American Sign Language word once. At least once a video, okay? So, we're gonna start off with, no, okay? So, this is how you do no in American Sign Language. So, that's it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have an amazing, wonderful, gorgeous, beautiful, everything, whatever day. I love you guys, and talk to you later. Bye.